World of Warcraft is one of the biggest games ever as far as content goes. Since its original release in 2004, we have seen a wide variety of new zones, raids, quests, and of course, secrets. And today I want to go over what I consider to be the largest, most complex secret in the history of World of Warcraft. And at the very least, it is one of my favorite secrets. This is a long video split into 3 major parts, so enjoy. Our adventure with this secret begins with something that is not directly part of this secret, but is going to be important later on. In the Shadows of Argus patch during the Legion expansion, players could go to the homeworld of the Eridar, Argus. In the Antoran Wastes, you can find a rare elite enemy known as the Many-Faced Devourer. This is honestly a pretty disturbing model, and it feels a little good to kill it. But in order to kill it, you have to summon it. You must first go around the Scavenger's Boneyard and kill Antoran defenders and tormented ritualists until one drops the Call of the Devourer. This is a special item that will allow you to see 3 different bones. The Fiend Bone near this pillar, the Imp Bone in this cave, and the Urzul Bone near this altar. Once you have collected all 3 bones, you can head to this bone pit that has a small hill in the center of it. There you can summon and do battle with the Many-Faced Devourer and strike it down. And upon doing so, you can loot Uuna's doll. This is an item that will allow you to summon Uuna, a ghostly Draenei girl who is a companion pet but cannot be used as a battle pet. Once you have unlocked Uuna, you can begin another secret that is going to take you all over the world of Azeroth. Whenever you summon Uuna, she will say a few different random lines expressing despair. But a very cool thing you can do is interact with Uuna with different emotes. You can /whistle, which she will hear and exclaim about it. You can then /roar at her, which will scare her and actually dismiss her, so you will need to click to summon her again. And then you can /cry with her, where she will talk about how she can't see and is in a dark place. Where I want to take this moment in the video to mention that the entirety of this video is basically possible because of the secret hunting community in World of Warcraft, where I learned about all these secrets and progressed through them via various guides that I will have linked down in the description. Alongside all of that, I will leave out a few details here and there related to clues and how they lead to the next spot, or how players specifically figured it out. And if you're confused by any of the steps in this video, the guides should help you out, or you can ask down in the comments and I can elaborate. In order to help Uuna see, you can take her to Adal in Shadowrath City, where she will be enthralled by the light, but then run away because it hurts. You can then take her to the Moonlight in Lake Valathim, which is a more pleasant source of light, and she will befriend you. She will also mention about how she wants to find an individual named Nu. Before this next step, you will want to make sure to obtain some Goblin Glider kits or have some other way to glide. You can make these as a Draenor engineer or buy them from the auction house. You can then return to Argus, but instead of going to the Antoran Wastes, you can head over to Eridath. You can then go to the southwesternish islands and make a couple of glides to get to this floating island. Here you can find a super cool area with Nu inside where Uuna will run over and grab him. You can then go to Bloodmist Isle, the second Draenei zone from the Burning Crusade, and head over to Bloodwatch where you can find this wand on the table, which Uuna will grab. You can then go to Shadowmoon Valley and the Warlords of Draenor expansion, not the one in Outland, the one in alternate Draenor. You can find this flower crown in what feels like the middle of nowhere, and Uuna will grab it. After a few short moments, void tendrils will pop up out of the ground near where Uuna is and kidnap her as she screams for help, where you then need to find her. If you try to summon her again, you cannot. And in order to find her, you can get a hint from a source who may be very familiar to some people. If you die, you can go and talk to a spirit healer and ask about Uuna, where the spirit healer will mark you, which will allow you to enter the spirit realm. Once you have done that, you can head to the Emerald Dragon Shrine in Dragonblight and find the Shadow Tear in the eye of this dragon's skull. Doing so will transport you to a dark place where you can find Uuna standing nearby. You can type /cheer to alert her to your presence, and then provide a source of light by placing down a cooking fire, which you can make via the cooking profession. Shortly after, Soul Eaters will begin appearing that look like shadow geists. They will slowly walk closer and closer towards Uuna, and you can scare them away by running directly into their model. You have to continue doing this for some time until Uuna wraps her arms around herself and begins to cry. As she does this, you can type /hug, which will trigger the end of the event, which is actually really cool and touching. After completing all of this, Uuna returns to being a companion pet that will run around the road with you, and there is one last major step. You can go on a tour around the world, reaching 8 different locations and letting Uuna experience the views. The first is the Gate of the Setting Sun, located in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms in Pandaria. The second is the Nighthold, located in Suramore in the Broken Isles. The third is Crassus's Landing, located in Dalaran in the Broken Isles. This is the Legion version of Dalaran, not any other. The fourth is to go to Wyrmrest Temple, located in Dragonblight in Northrend. The fifth is to go to Nordersil's Lake in Mount Hyjal in northern Kalimdor. The sixth is the highest mountain in Kunlai Summit in Pandaria. The seventh is the Molten Span inside of Blackrock Mountain in the Eastern Kingdoms. The eighth is at the Gardens of Eternity in the Temple of Karabor in Shadowmoon Valley in alternate Draenor. Upon coming to this location, Uuna will hug you, and you can type /hug to hug her back. And upon doing that, you have officially completed this entire section of the secret, where overall this entire adventure is beautiful. From meeting Uuna's ghost to taking her all over the world and everything in between. By itself, this is just an incredible adventure filled with secrets and riddles that players had to figure out. For the reward from this is an upgraded version of Uuna, who is holding some of the things she collected in the adventure, as well as how Uuna will occasionally hug you. But looking towards the future, Uuna plays a major part as we continue talking about this entire secret. Wish, yes, this has already been a ton of stuff to figure out, and a ton of content to go through just to get to this point, but we are only a fraction of the way done. Let's continue. The second major section of this secret relates to another companion pet you can get. Having Uuna is going to play an important part in our journey here, so make sure if you happen to be progressing this in the future, that you do everything I said earlier before moving on. The next battle pet we are going to be going for is Baa'l. This is an adorable looking baby goat infused with demonic energies and is heavily tied in with the Battle for Azeroth expansion. A clue exists hidden within Nazmir near the Heart of Darkness, which is located in the center of the zone. There is then a second clue that can be found back in the Broken Shore from the Legion expansion near Drakthul. From here you can begin looking for several hidden pebbles, which are very small and often look a little similar to the surface they are on top of, but are relatively easy to find. The first is at Hook Point and Borealis back in the Battle for Azeroth expansion with a little secret hidden cave that is located behind some nets. The second is at Ata Dazar and Zodazar in a cave located in the mountains. The third is located at Go Osigr and Drestvar. There is almost a 0% chance I pronounced that correctly, but there is a cave hidden behind the waterfall and you can find the pebble within. The fourth is located at the Tortaka Refuge in Vodun, located in yet another small cave. The fifth is located in the beautiful Stormsong Valley. The sixth is then located in Nazmir, and this one is a little interesting because it is located super far out in the ocean of the South Seas, and you will likely die in the process of getting this pebble. The seventh is located at Proudmoore Keep in Borealis near a really fun Easter egg. The eighth is located in the Western Watch Lighthouse in Drestvar in the northwestern part of the map. The ninth is located at Kinning's Lodge in Terragard Sound and can be found in yet another little cave. The 10th is located at the Waterfall Cave in Terragard Sound just east of Borealis. The 11th is then located in the Seaweed Cave that is underwater near Borealis and is decently well hidden. The 12th is another tricky one located very far off the coast of Vodun and can definitely be a little weird to get to. After you collect the 12th one, that is all you need in order to move on to the next step. The clue hinted players to go to Frostfire Ridge on the alternate version of Draenor from the Warlords of Draenor expansion and find Kirkthuk the Merciless near the volcano. Right in the middle of the volcano, you can find Baa'l. You can engage Baa'l in a pet battle and it will basically be impossible, but invoking a completely upgraded Uuna will weaken Baa'l and allow you to defeat him. Doing so will award you with Baal's Dark Sign that will then allow you to summon Baa'l yourself. And upon unlocking Baa'l, you have now completed the second step of this massive adventure, which takes us to the third and above and beyond the longest of these steps. If you don't know anything about this secret at all, I assure you, you have no idea what is about to happen next. So let's go through it super quickly, and if you happen to be using this video for a guide, you should pause here and there. Head over towards the entrance of Skyreach and the Spires of Iraq and interact with the Lit Orb. Then go to the Everbloom portal in Stormwind City and interact with the Strange Seed. Then go back to the Spires of Iraq, and at the bottom of the river through here is a tiny frog you want to interact with. Next, go to Outland from the Burning Crusade and go east of Orgilla and interact with this Brittle Bone. Next, go back to the Spires of Iraq and go towards the Sethek Hollow and interact with this misplaced candle. Then go to the Draenor alternate reality version of Shadowmoon Valley over towards Gloomshade Grove and find this odd cup and interact with it. Head to the Outland version of Shadowmoon Valley from the Burning Crusade and interact with the interesting rock on top of the massive volcano in the center of the map. Then go to the Swamp of Sorrows and find the broken Draenei camps near Marsh Tide Watch and interact with the Blooming Lily. No, we are not done yet. Go to the iconic Undercroft in the Eastern Plaguelands and find the pretty flower inside of the tomb and interact with it. Go to Karazhan and Deadwood Pass and find the chapel in this area, then find the old book inside of it and interact with it. Go up to Blackrock Mountain and find the entrance to the lower Blackrock Spire and interact with the dead fish. Then go back south to Duskwood and find the ruins in the Twilight Grove and interact with the scratched board. Then go up to the ruins of Altrak in the Hillsbrad Foothills, formerly known as the Altrak Mountains, and go inside the town hall to interact with the Lost Ring. Then go down to the Badlands and go to Fuselight by the sea to find and interact with this spoiled apple on a table by the end. Then keep going further south and go to the iconic Altar of Storms in the Blasted Lands. Pour one out for Blazer and interact with the Broken Tooth. Go back towards Blackrock Mountain and at the ramp leading up to it in the Burning Steps, find and interact with this worn helm by a skeleton. Nope, not done, still more to go. Go to Antonidas' statue in Delaran and Northrend from the Wrath Lich King expansion and interact with this leafy leaf. Then go to the entrance of the Shadow Labyrinth in Terracar Forest from the Burning Crusade expansion and interact with the Musty Cloth. Then go to Grim Bateau in the Twilight Highlands and interact with this broken tablet. And then finally, for this one part of our adventure, go to the ruins of Isilden and Fairless and interact with the Ashed Torch. After that, you should either craft or go to the auction house and buy a few items for you to take on the next step of your journey. You will want a Windwool hood, Death Silk shoulders, Netherweave tunic, and a Frostwoven leggings. Once you have all these items, head to one of my favorite hidden areas in all World of Warcraft and go to the secret hidden Dwarven farm along the eastern coastline of the Arathi Highlands. Back in vanilla, this was a super interesting random area filled with a bunch of details that just made it a very beautiful area but served no real purpose. Over the years, we have seen this place used for a few different things, like a special quest in the Season of Discovery, the hub for Plunderstorm, and this adventure. Inside of the farmhouse, you can find Grimmy, a very interesting undead skeletal gnome who is just living inside of this house. You can chat with him a bunch, and then interact with a note on top of the table. You can then equip these 4 items I told you to get earlier, and interact with him again, where he will have new dialogue. After talking through everything with him again, you can then interact with the note on top of the bedstand inside of the house. Now it is time for a little bit more world trekking. Head to the Twilight Highlands and go to the Vermilion Redoubt, which is actually really close to this area. Find Equinistraz, the Flightmaster, and slap him. Then go to Desolus and find the Moonwell at the Snarren Wildlands. Find Karnum Marshweaver and wave at him. Then go to Zul'Drak in Northrend and go to the Argent Stand. Find Nogra, who is the general goods vendor, and cheer at him. Then go to Kunlai Summit in Pandaria, go to the Shadowpant Fallback, and find the innkeeper Stained Mug and dance with him. After doing these 4 things, you can then go to the Forgotten Farm in the Arathi Highlands and find a new note on the fireplace. Then go outside of the house and locate the Rotten Potato. When you click on the Rotten Potato, you get a stack of Rotten Potato. You need to keep clicking on the Rotten Potato until you get 144 stacks. Not 5 stacks, not 143, not 145, you need 144 stacks. After that, go back and find Grimmy, talk to him again, and then finally you can go find Grimmy's rusty lockbox and get the singular reward from this entire adventure, the special, incredibly secret, and very cool looking Binds to Warband Collection cosmetic only item, the Waste of Time waste item. We have done it. This entire video, everything we have talked about, every single thing we have done going from place to place and interacting with so many different things leads us to this one singular point, obtaining the Waste of Time. Was getting the Waste of Time a waste of time? Well, I think that is up to the individual player to decide. World of Warcraft is a massive game with so many different things inside of it. I enjoy doing quite a few different things and exploring the world and uncovering secrets is definitely one of them, alongside getting collectible items, which is just a bonus part of this entire adventure. Plus, doing anything so insanely long to get something that is relatively minuscule is just super funny to me, so having this item is just a lot of fun. There are also entire communities dedicated to this sort of stuff in WoW, and it is honestly insane to think about how difficult and big of a secret this entire process was. I used a bunch of resources that different people have made to go on this adventure myself and to highlight this secret, which I'll link some up down in the description. But just take a moment to think about how every single little thing we had to do throughout this entire video had to be figured out and discovered by members of the World of Warcraft community, and more specifically the secret finding community. There are so many different secrets throughout World of Warcraft, like a lot, and a lot of them are absolutely massive that takes many players a very long time to figure out, but out of every single secret in World of Warcraft that players had to figure out, this is, in my opinion, the biggest one. And that's the video. I hope you enjoyed. This was a very long one just highlighting an absolutely incredible, massive secret in World of Warcraft. If you like this type of video, I have a couple of other videos highlighting special hidden areas across Azeroth or interesting secret bosses that you can fight. I hope you all are taking great care of yourselves. Have a good one, everyone.